Mr. Kazmark, you ready? Mr. Kazmark, we call a meeting to order?
Mayor, I'd like to call the November 5th, 2009 regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park to order. On roll call, Council members Catamagna is absent. Castiglia?
Here.
Conboy is absent. Chawinski?
Here.
Bonsino?
Here.
Mayor Mola?
Here.
Mayor, for the record, Councilman Catamagna is attending a convention, and Councilman Conboy had a family matter at the airport. We do have a quorum, however.
Will everyone please rise for a prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with we trust your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein the keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can remain standing, I'd just like to have a minute of silence for our colleague Jack McLaughlin, who passed away and had the funeral today. He will be missed by the community. Thank you, and if we can just remain standing for another 10 seconds, 15 seconds, in honor of those people in Fort Hood who were killed today because of aggravated assault by one individual so far that we know of. They were military soldiers. Thank you. Whereas Chapter 231 of Public Law, State of New Jersey, requires at the commencement of each meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, the meeting requires to this meeting have been posted by reading an annual notice in record in the Herald News and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in the public place within the municipal building and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2009.
Mayor, tonight under minutes we have the executive session of October 9th, 2009 and the regular meeting of October the 15th, 2009.
May I have a motion for both of them?
Moved. Second.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Chawinski. Any discussion? Call the roll for both, please.
On roll call, Councilmember Catamagna is absent. Councilmember Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Chawinski?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight under ordinances, under second reading, we have Resolution 303-09, introduce ordinance 09-20 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 3 thereof, entitled Police Regulations, to add a new section prohibiting parking with snowplows attached except during certain times. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, October 15th, 2009, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And as whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 3 thereof, entitled Police Regulations, to add a new section prohibiting parking with snowplows attached except during certain times, pass on final reading. Mayor, we need a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion to open to the public, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chawinski, Mr. Castiglia, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Anyone who wishes to be heard?
What are the certain times?
If you wish, you have to use the microphone. What?
He wants to know the exact dates. What are the dates signed in there? Do you remember?
I don't have the ordinance in front of me, Councilman, I'm sorry.
It's the summer months, Joe.
Basically the summer to get them off the streets.
If no one wishes to ask any questions, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion for the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr. Chawinski, second. Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call on adoption, Council members Catamagna is absent. Conboy is absent. Chawinski?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 304-09, payment of bills. Resolution 305-9, confirmation of checks. Resolution 306-09, confirmation of payroll. Resolution 307-09, Chapter 159, insertion of revenues and appropriation for the Municipal Alliance Grant. Resolution 308-09, Chapter 159, insertion of revenue and appropriation for the Division of Highway Safety over the limit grant in the amount of $6,000. Resolution 309-09, approve release of remaining escrow money to RPL Holdings, $500. Resolution 310-09, appoint volunteer firefighter company number 2, Cheryl Asmussen. Resolution 311-09, approve funds from the refunds from the recreation account. Resolution 312-09, redeem third-party tax lien, Crusader Servicing Corp. Resolution 313-09, redeem third-party tax lien for Robert Rothman.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino, second.
Second.
Mr. Truinsky, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members, Catamagna is absent, Comboy is absent, Truinsky,
Yes.
Boncino,
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. On the consent agenda, under resolutions this evening, Resolution 314-09, whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park have determined that Phase 2 streetscape improvements to Market Street from Beach Street to the Boulevard will provide economic incentives to local merchants and businesses by enhancing the business district for shopping needs while creating a more inviting, aesthetically pleasing environment for both residents and visitors to enjoy. And whereas, based on the review and recommendations of Boswell McClave Engineering, a grant application has been prepared that does comply with the requirements of the Department of Transportation Local Aid Infrastructure Fund Discretionary Aid Program. And whereas the Mayor and Council desire to continue the improvements to Market Street with a streetscape application, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park formally approves the grant application for the above stated project. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Clerk are hereby authorized to submit a grant application identified as Local Aid Infrastructure Discretionary Aid, Elmwood Park Borough, to the New Jersey Department of Transportation on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council are hereby authorized to sign the grant application on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park, and that their signature constitutes acceptance of the terms and conditions of the grant application and approve the execution of the grant application.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Castiglia, second by Mr. Boncino. Any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an application to improve a section of Market Street that will go from Beach Street down to the Boulevard. It's a state application, a state grant, and there is some extra money that the state has left over, Department of Transportation, and we're out seeking any of that additional money that wasn't spent last year. Being aggressive on this, and hopefully that this application will be submitted. Again, it was submitted last year and denied, so we're taking another shot at it. And hopefully we will get that and fix up the area from, as we said, from Beach Street to Market Street. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members, Catamagna is absent, Comboy is absent, Truinsky,
Yes.
Boncino,
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 315-09, whereas it is desirous of Marianne Florio to retire from the Borough of Elmwood Park Finance Department on December 31st, 2009, and whereas under the present white-collar contract, Marianne Florio is entitled to $18,114.70 in vacation time, $22,226.76 in terminal leave time, and $15,416.77 in sick time, for a total of $55,800.14. And whereas Ms. Florio will use 70.5 vacation days through May 31st, 2009. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that the Mayor and Council accept Marianne Florio's retirement, and all such compensation shall be approved for payment through the payroll office.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Vocino, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? These are two long-time employees, and some of this money that they get at the end of their retirement, or the beginning of their retirement, will not be given to new employees because they cannot save up vacation days any longer. That's going to be eliminated, and the terminal leave in many areas has been abbreviated.
Is this date supposed to be May 31st, 2010?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members, Catamagna is absent, Conboy is absent, Truinsky.
Yes.
Boncino,
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Motion carries. Whereas it is desirous, Resolution 31609, whereas it is desirous of Sergeant Paul Young to retire from the Borough of Elmwood Park Police Department on December 31st, 2009, and whereas under the present PBA Local 185 contract, Sergeant Paul Young is entitled to $47,019.12 in vacation time, $45,277.67 in terminal leave time, and $33,925.60 in sick time, for a total of $126,222.38. And now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that the Mayor and Council accept Sergeant Paul Young's retirement, and all such compensation shall be approved for payment through the payroll office.
Motion?
It is. So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second, Ms. Vocino. Any discussion? The same applies to this, although this is a police contract, and the person who is the most powerful individual in our community is the arbitrator who sets some of these goals, and we can't do anything about it, but we'll try again with the next contract. The vacation does still fit. The vacation must be used within a year for any new employee.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
I was able to sit on the police negotiations this previous year, and this year we're going to try and start earlier. The mayor advised me that we will start early with the negotiations. If anybody ever wanted to come to see these negotiations, it's very hard to deal with an arbitrator from the state, because it's what they say goes, basically. And many times, twice I walked out on their meeting because I didn't agree with him, but he grabbed me on the back, said, "Come on back in, Rich, it's not about you. It's about the police. We'll take care of it. It's all in a day's work." Until it changes on the top end, at the state level, our hands are basically tied on most of this. And hopefully with Chris here it will.
Right. As a matter of fact, we indicated to the arbitrator that a commitment had been made. He said a commitment had been made by the previous majority here at the council, offering some items to the police. And I explained to him that it was an illegal meeting, so how can you use their statement? And he said, no, it was made to them, and he was going to stand by it. So that's where we stand. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members, Catamagna is absent, Conboy is absent, Chewinski,
Yes.
Monsino,
Yes.
On that
Castiglia.
side.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sit on that side. No.
Mayor, this evening under reports, we have reports submitted from the municipal court and the building department.
Motion to receive and file?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second by Mr. Boncino. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe you saw somebody move in front of the camera. I'd just like to introduce our newly elected councilman, Mr. Sammy Keith Work. Mr. Work, will you please stand? Thank you. Committee reports, Mr. Boncino?
Yes, I have a couple of points. First, relative to Health Department, we're in the planning stages for the N1H1 vaccination. So right now, check the health office or our website. There's some guidance there in terms of the priorities in terms of how the vaccination will be distributed. And our health officer, Deb Ritchie, anticipates that the vaccination will be available in December sometime here in the borough. And over the last month, we've been planning or preparing paperwork. I had talked about previously the Sustainable Energy meeting, where we're looking into purchasing energy with other municipalities in the state of New Jersey. We spent the last few weeks putting together paperwork that needed to be in on Monday or Sunday, the 1st of November, which sort of outlined our accounts, our gas and electric accounts at various municipal facilities and the lighting in the borough. And that'll go into a bank that'll go out for auction, I believe, on December 1st. And I'll be participating in a meeting on Monday to get a status of where that is. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Chewinski?
Oh, yes, Mayor. Just a few things. My condolences to Mr. McLaughlin's family. He's going to be sorely missed up here, especially I got along pretty good with Jack, and I'm sure everybody else did. Just a few short notes. I got a note from the JIF that we will have to attend the safety meeting for all elected officials by May 1st in order to receive a $250 refund per councilman if we don't attend. Also, I'm going to reintroduce that subdivision ordinance this coming year, I hope. And one more thing, I'm looking forward to going back to the county park this year with the new freeholders. Maybe we can get something done down there. We have 2 Republican freeholders on the freeholder board finally, and we will welcome the public to come with us again, because we're still fighting for that park. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I think Mr. Giblin's still working on that. There seems to be some movement on the county executive's part to give us the property, and we have to examine that.
Okay, I'll twist the arm a little for money.
Yeah, money is the next part. Mr. Castiglio?
You'll have to excuse my voice a little bit, Mayor. I got something going on here.
You just sound sexy, that's all.
Yeah. I went to the funeral this morning. Elmwood Park has lost a valued leader. I consider Jack one of my friends. I've known him probably from 20, 25 years ago on the planning board. He will be sorely missed. Also, I want to congratulations to Rich Chawinski for his re-election.
Thank you, Rich. Okay.
Keith Work, Keith Work, our new councilman. Congratulations, Keith.
You can stand up again, we can take a picture.
I also want to mention I got a phone call from Mr. Denover over on Gilbert Avenue. He reminded me about the parking problem they have there during leaf cleanup season.
Oh, okay.
Last year we put out some emergency parking signs. I believe it was from the boulevard down to River Drive, just for Wednesday mornings, so the DPW gets a chance to come in there. I believe the time was 9 a.m. to noon on Wednesday mornings. They can come in and pick up the leaves. So I guess there's 4 or 5 Wednesdays left before the end of the leaf season.
Well, teachers can park in the other lot.
Yeah, they can park on the other side, but the signs will be out there just to remind them that they shouldn't be parking there on Wednesday morning. Also, I'd like to talk to the council about that. Maybe we can pass an ordinance or whatever it is, so this can go out there automatically every leaf season, so we don't have to be reminded. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, I think we should talk to the residents over there.
Okay.
There's a parking lot for the teachers. They choose to park in front of homes, and if the homeowner doesn't care.
Yeah, well, the only thing is the homeowner wants their leaves picked up.
Well, then we can do
And if
that.
a car is parked on the pile of leaves,
Right.
It's only Wednesdays. The leaf season runs for, I think, about 6 weeks.
Yeah, I don't
So
know
it's
if we have
only
to pass an
Wednesdays.
ordinance to that. I think
no?
we have to do
We have to
this
do it
every year.
All right.
Because we don't know when the DPW is going to be ready for that.
Okay, that's about it. Are you going to talk about, I don't know if you would mention what they had in the Sunday paper, I think it was last Sunday or the Sunday before, about our tax increase? The Elmwood Park being the 5th lowest.
Yeah, there was something, and you want
I
to...
have a little bit of information.
Go ahead. You
All
want
right.
to... Take
The
my
Record
report.
ran an article on it. 86 communities in Passaic and Bergen County, and out of those 86 communities, our tax increase for this year is the 5th lowest out of the 86 communities. So Elmwood Park, we are doing our best to keep those taxes down. You know, sometimes it might not seem like it, but out of 86 communities, that's pretty good to be 5th from the bottom. They put some other information in the article. I don't know if everybody saw it, but the median raise for a household in Bergen County was $327. In Passaic County, it was $272. That's the medium, that's the mid. In Elmwood Park, it was $101 as our median. So that's quite a bit down from everybody else. So I just wanted to point that out in case people didn't notice it in the paper, but we are doing our best. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. If I may, Mr. Giblin, do you have any report?
Just briefly, Mayor, since someone raised it, I have been negotiating with the county over the acquisition of the Waterworks property. We have not been able to move forward on that yet because the county has to take care of some encroachments from adjacent neighbors, and they also have to do some repairs to fencing and things like that. Once that's done, we will be in a position to move forward on that.
Thank you. If I can piggyback on something that Mr. Castiglione just mentioned in taxes, I don't know if you read the paper, but one of our state senators is submitting a bill to require that each high school have a sport trainer on staff to help kids if they get hurt and they recover through the trainer's ability to help these students out. This is one of the problems we have. I'm not against having a sports trainer in a high school. It's commendable. But if the state is going to demand that the high school have one, I think the state should be nice enough to say, we'll pay for it. We have a salt shed. We always kept the salt covered. We kept the salt from going into the river. We always had a circle around it with straw or railroad ties to keep it confined, and then we covered it. They require you have to have a building to put the salt in the shed. It cost us $250,000. It was $250,000 less than the previous administration wanted to put one up for. However, if the state's going to do these things, pay for it. We can only take it out of property tax. You can take it out of all the different taxes that the state applies for. This has been one of my problems for years. Even as a freeholder, we had item on the ballot indicating state mandate, state pay. Simply put, if the state's going to mandate that we have to do it as a local government and we have to charge property tax, then they should pay for it. I would love to be a public official saying, I'm going to do all these things for you, now somebody else pay for them. It's not fair. I feel like a student in grammar school. It's not fair, but it's not fair. They come up with all these grandiose statements, and then we'll have somebody else pay for it. So, I just want everybody here and anybody watching on TV to understand some of the predicaments that we go into, because we are required to do certain things, and then we have to pay for them. They want to require it, let them pay for it. And I think you'll see a lot of things going down that aren't all that necessary. I'm not talking about the sports trainer. That's just something that came up and brought me into this. I was in contact with Ron Dooney, who is Terms. They're the people who are cleaning up the DEP requirements on the building across the street from Company 4 on the boulevard. We're down to the last little bit that the state's given them in DEP money. I know Mr. Kazmark spoke to him today. I don't know what that transpired, but I was trying to get them to give us a letter indicating that the building could come down if we wanted, as a council decided to take the building down. And since they're going to have light rail, a station right there across the street from the rec center, not the rec center, the Little League field, that we could pave it and have parking there and have them pay for the parking, and we can pick up a few dollars. In that regard also, I made some phone calls, and we're going to try to get some grant money to pave it and maybe to knock the building down, to raise the building.
Mayor, just first, it's Cinco Paint Factory.
Remember the old paint company in Van Riper? It's on Van Riper.
Right.
It's on the boulevard.
Well, technically.
When I ride the boulevard, I see it, so I don't call it Van Riper. Okay. I won't quarrel with that. I think that's just about has it, but.
Yeah, I got to add two things.
Oh, one important thing. Go ahead, Rich. You have something?
No, go ahead, finish.
Our recycling coordinator went to a meeting on batteries and the recycling of batteries. The final household hazardous waste collection for this year will be November 21st. And after that, the BCUA, the Bergen County Utilities Authority, will no longer accept batteries. Please listen carefully. Alkaline batteries, AA, AAA, C, D, and 9V are to be treated like normal garbage. Just throw them in the garbage. Okay? That goes along. We've been collecting these things. Now they've changed their mind and said, well, really don't have to do it. It jars my memory back to, we want sound barriers. They're not going to give us sound barriers in the near future. And the word is, well, we're not so sure they really work now. You put up millions of dollars worth of sound barriers, and after discussion, they say, well, we're not sure if they work. Vehicle and rechargeable batteries, button batteries used in cell phones, hearing aids, and watches, are still to be recycled. Okay? Residents, if you have the other batteries, okay, vehicle batteries, the button batteries, so forth, you can bring those to Best Buy in Paramus. They continue to take them. Home Depot in Hackensack and Lodi. Lowe's in Patterson. National Wholesale Liquidators in Lodi. Radio Shack in Fairlawn, Hackensack, Wallington, Sears in Hackensack, Walmart in Saddlebrook. Please do not bring your batteries to the municipal building or the library any longer. Okay? So you can bring them to those other areas and have them do that. All right? We'd appreciate that help, and I'm glad they're clearing that up. According to what's going on, at some point in time, we may even find out that global warming is not warming up. Mr. Chewinski.
Oh, real quick, Mayor, just for the public's information, if you hadn't seen the Channel 12 news, they caught the supermarket stalker, the police department. Mike Kemp did a fine job in recognizing him from, where was it? Richfield Park. Richfield Park, okay. And also on that note, with the police department, they did an excellent job on the procession today, getting the people to the
Yeah, it was.
cemetery and everything. It was really nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Mayor, one last thing is that fire department award we got for the...
Next meeting.
Next meeting? Okay.
If there's no one else, Mr. Conboy, do you have a report you want to give?
Sure, thank you, Mayor.
Just arrived?
I apologize for being late. I had to take care of a few family member things. Yes, I would, just... Okay, again, apologize for being late. I just want to notify everybody of a couple of things that are happening down at the recreation area around town. I've got a lot of calls at home. Folks have grabbed me around town. Birchwood Park is just about completed with rehabbing it. If anyone has a chance, check it out, because that's what we'll be doing all next year at two of our other parks. The mayor and I attended the open space meeting last Monday. We applied for another, that's the matching grant. We put up 50, we get 50 back. So we'll be putting another 100,000 towards the parks next year. Each park will be unified in color and in playground equipment, so it looks real nice, Birchwood Park. Maybe the community news can get down there and take a few photos, because it looks nice, and do a little story on it. Next year, again, 2 more parks will be done. Also at the rec center, new lights have been installed in the parking lot area, which really lightens up the whole area. I know folks have noticed it, because it's very noticeable if you live on Pine Street or in that area. But it's really enhancing that whole area. It's lit up now. You can see the kids when they're in the parking lot. It also helps too with when the police are coming around. They can see if there's any kids hanging around underneath the trees and so forth, and keeping them out of there after the park is closed at night. So we have those things going on. I know I have 1 or 2 other things. Let me just, again, I apologize. I just want to... Also, I want to let everyone know, the residents that catch us on TV, the Rec Commission at their last meeting voted to implement a new company that we're going to have brought in called Choice Point and Capture Point. They are going to provide a service where we can now have registration online for all of our activities. So if you need to sign up for a sport, or you want to sign up for the arts and crafts, the summer camp, spray grounds, you're going to have the ability to go online through the website and do this all on your own. There'll be options to pay. You will need to come in and show some proof of residency, but it really will cut down on the amount of paperwork, and it will be it's really being done as a benefit and as making it easier for parents to make the registration so they can avoid a late fee, and they can do it at the luxury of their own home. And what happens, it gives us the ability to capture that information and utilize it in other areas. For example, if your child always does basketball, the following year, if you didn't sign up, we can send you a message and an email saying, hey, we miss Johnny. Is he signing up, or is your daughter signing up, or whatever? So it's another nice new little feature. That's it for me. Thanks, Mayor.
What happens if your name isn't Johnny?
Excuse me?
What happens if your name isn't Johnny? You can still...
I know you have it. I usually use Johnny and Janie. My wife knows me.
Thank you.
I would also would like to, again, just pass on my condolences to the McLaughlin family and for their loss and our loss over here with Jack. And just like to end with congratulating our candidates for a great job. And Mr. Work is sitting in the audience as always, and nice job to both of you. So congratulations to our candidates. Thank you.
You want him to stand up and take it?
Sure, stand up. Did everybody have to stand up?
Third time.
That's the third time.
new guy.
Oh, that's okay.
And we keep swinging the camera around to take it.
And just one last thing, I just want...
Focus in on Mr. Chewinski. He
all right,
he
it's all
won
right.
also.
And I would like to just also, I know it didn't end in the way he hoped, but better for us, I guess, for us as a town. But I'd also want to tell Mr. Kazmark, our borough clerk, that I know he worked very hard, and I'm sorry he wasn't the way it ended for him, but nice job anyway, Keith, hardworking.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who wish to be heard? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public.
Yep.
Yeah, Mel. Sure. As long as it's not a hard question.
couldn't see you good. Keith is right in front of you, and anyway.
That's intentional.
Blocking.
Mel Kaplan.
He's my pulling guard.
Glenwood Avenue. Mayor and council, you're doing a wonderful job resurfacing the roads. And now that you're doing Beach to the Boulevard, what's happening with the infamous clock?
The clock that was purchased 3 years ago for $20,000 is still down at DPW.
Oh, it is on, we do have it?
Yes,
It's
we've
still
had it
graded
all.
up, yeah.
We had it
We
all.
physically have,
It's graded.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have it, and what we're waiting for now is for the county to come in, and the money's been there to do the intersection at the Boulevard and Market Street.
Will that be in front of the tank, or?
We're going to have to move the tank,
You're gonna move the tank, what, to the side, to the back?
whichever way they have to move
Whichever
it.
way. Wonderful, Mayor, thank you. I didn't know that we had it in our possession. I thought
I don't know what it looks
allocated
like.
funds and,
No, it's
Thank you.
been down there. Thank you.
A lot of time.
Okay, anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Help him up, Mel.
My wife gave him a pen, I'll kill him. Oh, no. I'll kill him.
Not too long, Bill, the Yankee game is on.
No, I won't. I'll be out of here within an hour.
I'm sorry to do that. I'm sorry to do that to you, Bill.
This thing here, this is 25 minutes to 9. We gotta kill this thing till 9 o'clock, you know what I mean?
No, he's got short tapes today. The
Short tapes?
videographer said we have short tapes.
I talked with him before, he said it had a long tape in there.
No.
First of all, congratulations, Rick,
Thank you.
Rich, for your re-election, and Keith, for your election to the council. I'm sure we have the right people, no question about it. I just want to say one thing about Jack McLaughlin. He was a good friend of mine. I didn't know him as long as some of you people did. It was maybe 8 or 9, maybe at the most 10 years. But we always got along very well. We didn't always agree with one another, but it never got between our friendship. And the last time he sat up there, he told me that, I don't think I'm going to make it this time, and he was really right. I guess he knew what was coming. So I know I'm going to miss him, and I know you people are going to miss him too. He did so many things here. He sat on that council for so many years, and just by the fact that when you went over to Conti's the other day, you know what kind of a man he really was. I went over there early, I thought. The thing opened up at 2 o'clock. I got there 5 minutes after 2. I said, well, I want to pay my respects and get it over with. I got there and I was hanging out the door already. That's how many people were there. And that was when the place first opened up. I can imagine what that must have been like on that night, or maybe even today. But I know we're going to miss him. I want to ask a question, Mayor, about what you just said before, and that is this. The state asks us to do a lot of things, but they don't pay for it. They tell us to pay for it.
Well, I wouldn't say ask, they mandate, we do do it.
Mandate.
Well, they mandate it, that's right.
They make you have
we
to
don't,
do it.
We don't pay for it. I mean, we pay for it. They tell us what to do.
They mandated, we pay for it.
Right, okay. Now, you know, that can't be just in Elmwood Park. That's got to be throughout the state,
Exactly.
from the north to the south. And it would seem to me, if this is such an injustice, why this whole gang doesn't get together and do something about it in Trenton. There has to be ways to straighten this thing out, I would think. And if everybody got together, maybe we could get a little action on this thing.
Everybody's together on binding arbitration for the police, and nothing's happened. So,
Everybody is on that?
yeah. Almost every community is opposed to binding arbitration.
How legal is that? Is it a real legal thing that we have something like that?
Well, it's a state law. You have to call up your state assemblymen and your state senators and ask them to get off the...
Well, when you say "we," I'm talking about the mayor and the council of every municipality
They
in
don't
this state, from the north to the south.
They don't necessarily listen to the mayor and council. There's 7 of us here.
They've been doing that, Mayor. The towns will-
It's a common complaint from most municipalities. It always has
And
been.
everybody ignores it.
That's right.
Wow, that's terrific, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So in other words, what you're saying is we just have to suffer with this stuff, keep paying, and these rules are in effect, and we got to pay smart.
That's right.
Happy about it.
That's right.
That's about it. Okay. We're fixing a lot of roads in this town, and that's good. And the way I understand it, we're getting a lot of money from the state, the county, and
Stimulus.
most of this stuff is being done at a very, very minimal cost, and that's terrific. But I want to mention one street. I went down there today. I went down to the public works place. That street that starts in off...
Slater
I
Drive.
went down there, and I thought, well, I'm not sure whether my car is still in kind of shape to go anywhere else. I have never seen a road that is so full of holes, and it's only a small road. Have you fellas noticed
Yeah,
that?
I've noticed that, but keep in mind, it's not as bad as you think. It's bumpy. But the only people who use it is the DPW.
Well, I use it. I'm not on the PBW.
Well, what do you bring down there, Bill?
Well, I went down there to get a couple of those stickers, for my garbage can.
Guess what?
Right here.
Don't use the road anymore. Come here and ask my secretary. We've
Well,
got...
I've gone down for other things too, but the road is lousy, and if you say that's the only guys that use it, what it does, it busts our trucks up, you know what I mean?
Well-
And we have to get them fixed.
We
And that costs a lot of
we have to
money.
make some selective decisions as to what roads we have to pave in town.
Of
And if you
course.
campaign the way I have and the way Keith has and the way Rich has this year and walk through the town and ring doorbells, everybody wants their road paved. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
we have to make a
There is
decision.
a priority, but what I'm saying is, maybe you guys ought to look at this.
We
Maybe
are-
put that on that priority.
We are going to put it on the priority list,
Okay.
on the bottom.
And just one last thing, and then I'll sit down, and that is this. Right now, we got lots of leaves all over the place, and we put them up in the gutter, and the guys come along and they scoop them up. There's only one problem, and that is with the guy that comes around, that's supposed to come around after they pick the leaves up, that they're...
Sweeper.
Yeah. He can't get in there. Cars are all over this place. Over in front of the First Presbyterian Church, we got cars there all the time. That hasn't been swept. They can't get in. It's not their fault. Can't we do something about that to make certain days where the sweeper can go down there and clean the thing up? Isn't there something we can do?
We can talk to the DPW as to when they're going to be there. Maybe we can post signs on the poles.
Well, you say maybe. Yeah, all right. That's... Mayor, you told me about that thing down here. When I made mention of the 7-Eleven, people coming out there and going to the left, and you told me that's all going to be corrected because we're going to fix that corner.
Right.
Now, that's 6 months ago that I asked that question. Now, is that the same thing with these signs you're talking about?
The sign, no, it's not. No, you're misinterpreting. There's a sign coming out of 7-Eleven that says no left turn.
That's right, but they do it.
Well, they do it. You're not supposed to drive over 50 miles an hour on the highway. They do it.
You told me that's going to be all straight.
That's going to be changed.
Do that thing there by that tank.
Exactly.
Nothing has happened.
They're working on it. Government doesn't work that fast. The plans have been made. The county's funded the thing. Now we just have to wait for the bid, and then they will do that.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not leading you astray, but we have to follow guidelines.
Okay,
process.
I appreciate that. But that's something that, and incidentally, I was down there again, just riding by here today, and I saw 2 people come out there and make a left-hand turn.
And for police,
I see that too.
Left-hand turn left and right, they're ignoring the signs.
when they fix that,
Put somebody up there.
when they fix that intersection there, they will come out, make a left-hand turn, and it'll be in front of the line that's supposed to hold them
I
back.
understand that, didn't happen. So there's nothing that would prevent them from doing that.
No, but it will be.
So, you know, if you put somebody down there, I think in one day, we'd make 3 cops' salaries. Charge them $75 a piece for a left.
Now, some of the salaries are over $100,000, so you gotta keep them down there a long time. Thank you, Bill. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? If not, may I have a motion to
Mayor,
adjourn?
if I may, we have to read an executive session
ahead.
resolution. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss a personnel matter with the police department and the department head non-union salary ordinance. Minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes will be made public. Now therefore be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor, we need a motion and a second.
Motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second, Mr. Conboy, any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. That's it, Mr. Casmar?
Yes, sir.
And may I also have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
What?
Wasn't he supposed to bring something up?
No, he just brought it up. I just want to thank everyone here who's attended for coming, and thank you for attending our meeting. I'm being redundant here, but thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Thank you.